This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let us talk about job opportunities in SAP FICO. This is more important because at the end, everyone's target is to get a job in SAP FICO. There's nobody, I don't think so, will learn SAP FICO only for the knowledge purpose. Whoever is learning, whoever is joining SAP FICO only to get SAP FICO consulting job. In order to get a SAP FICO consultant job, what is required? How are the opportunities in the market? Let us try to understand so that we will have a clarity. So there are two classifications here in the SAP FICO. One is your experienced, second one is fresher. One is experienced, another one is fresher, and another one is, or I would say, one is experienced SAP FICO, one is complete fresher, another one is fresher SAP FICO. When we're talking about experienced SAP FICO, it is representing we have or we are currently working in SAP FICO. This is nothing but we are currently working in SAP FICO. This is what experienced FICO represents. On the other side, when we talk about complete fresher, we do not have any experience. Here we are current or last year pass out, and there is no experience here, no experience at all. You are either a current year pass out or a last year pass out. You do not have any experience at all, then you will be represented as a complete fresher. On the other side, fresher SAP FICO, meaning to SAP FICO you are a fresher, but actually you are not a fresher, meaning let's say we have non-SAP experience, or I would say we have domain experience in short. Non-SAP experience, and we are trained on SAP FICO. This is what it represents. We have completed our SAP FICO training, but we have experience in some other technology, some other module, or some other domain. Maybe you're working in BPO, you're working in
Sir,
accounting
sorry
side
to
or
interrupt.
any other side. Yeah. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. It's not clear.
For everyone.
No, we
No,
are
it's
able to
loud
hear
and
you.
clear,
Actually,
sir.
it is clear.
No,
Now we
sir.
are able to.
No, sir, we are fine.
It's yeah.
It's
Just
clear
please
for
try to
us.
rejoin it. Yeah. Okay. So fresher SAP FICO is representing you have experience but not in SAP. You have experience but not in SAP. Other than SAP consulting, you have other experience maybe in your BPO side, accountant side, or any other side. You have some experience but not related to SAP, but you are a trained SAP FICO candidate. That's where you call it as fresher SAP FICO. The moment you have SAP FICO experience, then you will be falling under experienced SAP FICO category. Usually, it's very rare, or the category of the people, percentage of the people is less, those who are currently working on SAP FICO. Though there are people who will join the training while working also, but that's a different story. But this category is less. This category is usually less. And this category is more. Most of you may be falling under category number 2 or category number 3. Either you are a complete fresher, current year, last year, or you are new to SAP FICO, but you already hold some experience in non-SAP side. Okay. Now, considering these points, how exactly you will get the opportunities in the market? Normally, what happens, as we discussed in the previous sessions, any client or any organization always looks for an experienced candidate. Any project or any client, any organization basically looks for an experienced candidate, considering the facts that they know how SAP works. They know how we have to configure the system. They know how we need to test the system and all. The basic fundamentals, experienced candidate is well aware of. This is point number one. Point number one, the experienced candidate is aware of how SAP works and how we need to interact with the client, business or user, how we have to get the requirement, how we need to configure the system, test the system, how we need to prepare the documentation and all. There are many activities which are to be performed as a FICO consultant apart from configuration. Usually what we all think, we may be thinking that consultant means only configuration. It is not. Configuration is only 10% of activity what a SAP FICO consultant does. There are 90% other activities which you will be performing as a FICO consultant in any project. So if you are considering only configuration will give you a job, 100% that is not going to happen. It is not even 99.9%, it is 100% you will not get job if you are depending only on the configuration. There's no doubt. Because upfront I'm telling you, it is only a 10% of what you do in a project as a configuration. Remaining 90% there is a lot. And whenever you're talking about configuration, configuration is individual or offline activity. When I say configuration is individual or offline activity, before doing any configuration, you'll have to get the business process understanding or business requirement from the user. When you're talking to the user, when you're interacting with the client to understand their current business process or to propose the new business process according to SAP functionality, you're not going to do any configuration there. Instead, you need to talk to them, present your screen, showcase the demonstration, or understand their queries, questions, clarify their queries, questions. For this, there is no configuration. For this, there is no configuration. Your understanding matters here. Your experience matters here. Your subject, your concept matter here. Once you are clear with all these points, you are able to talk to the client user and you got the requirement. When you got the requirement, what we will do to set up the system, you need to maintain configuration. To set up the system, we need to maintain configuration. For doing the configuration, nobody will sit with you. When you're doing the configuration, nobody will sit with you. Assuming today we got the business requirement. Let's say on 2nd of August, we got the business requirement. Now we would have committed to the client, assuming a simple business requirement. We would have committed to the client that, okay, we will deliver it to you on Monday, or let's say we will deliver it to you on Wednesday. Wednesday, we will show it to you for the testing UOT. Now today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There are 4 working days available with you. There are 4 calendar days available with you. And if you talk only from the configuration point of view, it may take hardly 1 or 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours maximum. It may take 8 hours maximum. No configuration will take more than 8 hours. That's very high I'm talking about. It will not take maximum 8 hours because you're not going to set up everything in one go. I'm talking about a specific business process which we understood and we told the client or user that we will show it to you in the development system or in the quality system as a demonstration on Wednesday because you need to set up. If it is only a matter of configuration, I'll get many experts of configuration in the market or within the organization. There may be so many people who are expert in config, who can do all the configuration. There are people who do config blindfolded also, meaning they close their eyes, still they will do the config. They know on left side, third column, what is it? On right side, from the bottom to fourth column, what is it? Where is your save icon? Everything they will tell because they would have practiced so extensively. The total screen is in their mind. Even if they close their eyes, they will tell you where to go, what to click, what not to click. That is not going to be helpful for me. Why? because your configuration is not done just like that. Configuration is always made with respect to the business process, with respect to the business requirement. In every business process, in every business requirement or in every business process, clients will always have their own requirement, meaning they would like to have their own requirement. They want to have some kind of a modifications in it, either with the help of customization or with the help of any other thing. As an experienced candidate, you will be able to understand what they are talking about. As a fresher candidate to SAP FICO, you may not be able to understand because you are lacking that experience, you are lacking that knowledge. Because you're lacking the knowledge, you're lacking the experience, you may not be able to understand these points, whatever your user is talking about, whatever your client is requesting for. According to you, it is only config. For example, if I'm talking about taxation, you know how taxation works in SAP, you know what are the 10 configuration steps or 20 configuration steps. You may feel that taxation, I know I configured 10 times, I'm very expert in taxation. Fine, but that doesn't mean you will be able to sit in front of the client, talk to the client, understand the requirement, solve any problem which is coming. That 10 times configuration is not going to help perform or be confident on this situation because your config approach was different. In the real time in a project, your expectation is different. What you are going to perform, what is expected from you is different. What you have practiced is different because when you're learning, you may not be aware of so many things. While learning, we may not be aware of so many things. In our mind, majoritarily, it is only the configuration. Most of the people will have the same understanding. SAP FICO consultant means configuration. SAP FICO course means configuration. I need to know configuration, how to do the configuration, how do I create one scenario, that is fine. My course is completed, I am fit for a job. But that is not the situation, that is not the case which is going to make you a consultant. That will not make you a consultant because nobody wants configuration and you are focusing only on configuration. Whatever people are not looking from you, you are focusing only on that one. You are injecting only those points in your mind. That is the reason, even after completing the course, even after attending so many interviews, people will fail. Reason, what is the expectation from the market? What is your skill set are not matching. Your skill set, your practice is not matching, is not aligned with the business requirement or the organization project requirement. Okay, since there are so many points like this, usually people or everybody always prefer experienced SAP FICO consultant, assuming that you are aware of at least the basic fundamentals of consulting activities. It is not configuration, it is consulting activities, what a SAP FICO consultant does. The way you talk, it also matter. The way you talk is also matter because the way you talk to your friend and all, when you say that there is a problem, there is an error, you may say that go to this T code, this is very simple, within 5 minutes we can complete it. You are not supposed to tell these points to your user, to your client. You should know how you need to talk to your user, what you need to talk to your users and all. You should be very well aware of. Nobody will tell you all these things when you're in a project. Because of these things, you may lose your job. No surprise. There are many people who lost their jobs because of their overflow of words. They talk something which is not required. Somebody might ask you different things once you join the organization. You should have a clarity what you should talk and what you should not talk. To what extent you should talk, and beyond that, you should not talk to anybody no matter what. You should skip the topic, you should avoid it. But what we will do, we feel that in a different things strike our mind, and then we try to talk something in a different way, which will put us in trouble. Meaning, we are not aware. Just an example, let's say you are a consultant, you are a business user, I am a FICO consultant, and you raised a query with me. You raised a query with me wherein you asked that there is a problem that I am facing while posting a document or while creating a master, while pulling a report. I said that this is very simple. This is very simple, or you asked for a requirement, some changes. I said this is very simple. It will within 15 minutes, this can be fixed. This problem I can close, I can fix within 15 minutes. I felt very happy. No problem, then do it. Then the same thing when I ask your project manager or your lead or another FICO consultant from your team, they said, no, this is not possible. Or they would have said, no, this we have to see the feasibility of it. It may take 1 week time, or it may take few days, couple of days. It may take couple of days because their intention is completely different. And you're not aware of anything. You are only aware of the config. You are telling, no, 15 minutes I'll complete it. How can you complete within 15 minutes? Not possible. For any consultant, it is not possible. Only configuration consultant can tell that. A real SAP FICO consultant will never tell within 5 minutes I will close the problem. Why? Because to meet that requirement, you may have to make some changes. In short, when you are making certain changes either through your functional or through your technical, meaning either a configuration from the functional consultant point of view or a technical corrections from the ABAP point of view. When you do the changes, you'll have to make sure that the changes are made. As you said, changes will be completed within 5 to 15 minutes. Okay, you put a timer 5 to 15 minutes, changes are completed. But you should know that in the system, in SAP, there is something called a system landscape. There's something called system landscape with which you will be following a sequence of system, development system, quality system, production system. Straight away, you cannot do anything in production system. You should always do in development system. Within the development, again, you will have several clients. You should know to which client you should log in, and you should fix your problem. Okay, from there, how you are going to do it. From there, how you are going to work on it. Once you do it, the configuration, how do you move your configuration to development testing server? How you are going to test it there? Whether you are able to create a test case or not. Whether you are able to create a replication of the problem that your client is facing in the production or not. Once you are able to reproduce the case, reproduce the issue, after doing your configuration, check once again whether the problem is sorted out or not. And then if everything is okay, then you'll have to do the documentation. What documentation? If you have prepared any functional configuration document is required, and then your business requirement email is required, and then you need to perform the unit testing document is required. Based on this, you need to move the TR to the quality system. You should know how TR is moved, and to move the TR to quality, you may have to do it in some project. Your basis may be doing in some other project, and you'll have to make sure that all the documentation is provided. And once it is done, you talk to your user, ask them for their availability. They may say that today I'm not free, I have a meeting with the management, or I'm busy with some other month end activity, we will see to tomorrow. To the same user, to whatever you said, this will be solved in 15 minutes. Now the same user is telling, today I'm not available, we will see tomorrow. Now your 15 minutes are now postponed to next day. Your 15 minutes solution is now not solving the problem because your user is not available. You have to do it the next day. Sangam, can you please close your camera? Okay, your 15 minutes solution has been now pushed to next day. Now what we need to do here, what we are understanding here is, though you commit that 15 minutes we will close it, it is not practically possible in the project. It is possible only when you have no experience. It is possible only when you do not know what happens in a project. Because here your assumption, when you're talking about assumption, you are free to assume anything. I am free to assume anything. Somebody is free to assume anything. Your assumption is not always reality. But in SAP FICO, whatever the assumptions that people have, most of them are not practically possible. Most of them are not practically possible. Now your user is telling, no, today not possible, tomorrow we will do it. Okay, you will show it to user tomorrow. When you are showing it to user tomorrow, he is asking some more things. He is telling, no, this also I want to change it, add it, remove it, some other conditions he said. For this, immediately you cannot do it. Again, you have to make a note of it. There is a change in the requirement. Again, go back to development. Again, make the changes. Again, test it in development. Again, move to quality. Again, get the time of your user to do the AT. Now, completing all this process will take a time. It's not that 15 minutes I'll close it. Whoever talks like this, within 1 hour will fix it, within 15 minutes. It's a 5-minute task for me. They have not worked anywhere in SAP FICO in their past. I'm talking those who talk these statements in the project after getting the job. Those who talk these statements after getting the job, it is a clear representation that they have no experience on SAP FICO before. Though they are telling they are experienced, practically they do not have any experience. Meaning, the way you talk will reveal everything. The way you talk will reveal everything. You don't need to act anything. Everybody knows. By way of your behavior, by the way you handle the system, the way your cursor is moving on the SAP screen tells you have experience or not. The way your cursor is moving will reveal the fact. The way you are switching from one screen to another screen will reveal the fact. The way you are talking, the way you are understanding will reveal the fact. Meaning your actions will reveal everything. You don't need to tell anybody, I am experienced, I am inexperienced. Nobody is bothered about your experience. Everybody is concerned about your skill set, your knowledge. If you have that skill, if you have that knowledge, capability, you will be given opportunity everywhere, irrespective of which category you fall under. But the reason why they majoritarily prefer experienced is, as we discussed, SAP consulting is all about consulting business. It is a consulting business. As a consultant, we are a product to the company. As a consultant, we are a service provider. In short, we are a service product. What a company will do, for example, you and I got a job in XYZ company. When you got a job in XYZ company will not use your services directly, because most of the companies are service based companies, not product based companies. If you are joining in product based company, you will be working for the same company. That is a different thing. There you will be represented as an in-house consultant. But most of the time, not maximum of the jobs, whoever gets after getting the training is usually service based consulting a company like Wipro, Deloitte, TCS, likewise XYZ companies, whatever you have. These are all service providers of SAP FICO. Now in this company, any company, let's take XYZ company. When you get a job in XYZ company, you will not be working directly for XYZ company. XYZ will have so many clients. Let's say XYZ has got some 20-30 clients. For one of the client, they will assign you. For one of the client, they will assign you. When they assign you to a client, they have to introduce you to the client. They have to share your profile with the client stating he is Mr. A and he has got 4 years of experience, 3 years of experience. He is our consulting, he is very good at all these things. They will tell. A client may say that, okay, you can put him in our project. Sometimes your client also says, no, let us interact with your consultant first. If you are happy, then only we will take. That is where you will be representing client round. That's where people tell, after getting the job also, you will have interviews called client round. Client round is nothing but the end client to whom you are going to work will also be taking your interview. End client with whom you are going to work will also be taking your interview. Only if they are happy, they will take you in the project, else they will not take. Now, these interviews will happen even for the experienced candidate who are currently working. Because client round is common for everybody. Your client, meaning from the client side, they may be having in-house consulting team or they may be having a team. They say that no, we don't want to, we don't want you to put anybody in the project. Let us interact with it first. If you are happy, then only you put it. Otherwise, you please change the consultant. That is the reason client interviews will happen. Once you clear the client interview also, when you're in a project, what will happen? Your company will charge the client on a monthly basis for your services. That's where you talk about timesheet. Most commonly, people will be talking about timesheets in SAP FICO, meaning you are chargeable to your client, meaning your company is charging your services to your client. If your company is paying you 10 rupees, your company will be charging 20 rupees from your client, meaning your client will have to pay 20 rupees to your organization for availing your services. And here again, there is a fixed billing, there is a time based billing. These are all different things. You should know what is fixed billing, what is time based billing, how you are filling up your timesheet. Tomorrow, when somebody is asking you about, you fill up your timesheet, submit your timesheet, you don't ask what is timesheet, having said you are an experienced candidate. When you say that you're an experienced candidate, don't ask back anybody in the project, in the organization after they getting the job, what is timesheet, how to fill the timesheet. Don't tell this. This single question reveals the total history of yours. Meaning you have to be very careful. When I say you have to be very careful, there is no point that you will ignore certain points. If you are ignoring certain point, Those points which you ignored will put you in trouble tomorrow for 100%. 100% you will be in trouble because of the points that you are ignoring. These are all the basic silly points. Nobody will accept when you say I do not know this. Nobody will accept. There are certain things which you should not say I do not know, or you should never say no to certain points. Those points, unfortunately, most of the people will ignore it. If you are ignoring the same point, you will be at the same stage. Don't think that in 30 minutes in your interview somebody can judge your knowledge. Nobody can judge your knowledge in 30 minutes. Practically not possible. It is practically not possible for anybody to judge your knowledge in 30 minutes, because in the interview it happens in a different manner. What will happen in interview? If I am the panel member, if I am the interviewer, I will have a sheet with me. I'll have the interview sheet with me. In that sheet, what I'll do, in that sheet will be provided by the HR to the panel member. In that sheet, your details are mentioned, your name, your contact number is mentioned, and down below there is a feedback form. There is a feedback content will be mentioned, meaning overall business process, SAP FI, enterprise structure, GL module, AP module, AR module, asset accounting, taxation, integrations, and then controlling module, cost element, cost center, month end activities, something like this. Content will be mentioned in the feedback form. I need to make sure from every category I will put at least one question. I'll judge your overall skill set. I'll judge your overall skill set, for which what I'll do, I will be randomly asking you questions from each category. One question may be from AP, one question may be from AR, one question from tax, one question from integration, one question from asset accounting, one question from implementation, one question from month and year end activity, one from cutover activity, likewise. I'll not ask from one topic all the questions. Randomly I'm asking. It's not that I have a question paper. It is not that this question paper is available in the market. You can read the question paper. You can say out of syllabus. I can say no, this is from the syllabus. Not possible. Randomly from the topic, I can ask anything. Now, whatever I'm asking doesn't necessarily be known to you, meaning you would not have be aware of it, or you may not have worked on those areas on the same area which I am talking about. Not required here, not mandatory here. That is the reason, even if you don't answer anything, even if you are able to answer 50% of the questions, you will be selected. Reason, I am not asking a question which is a fixed question. This is something which is striking my mind on the spot. I am asking something which is striking my mind on the spot. What I am going to look at, how you are understanding my question, how you are responding back to my question is what I am going to look at. I'm going to look at how you're understanding my question and how you're responding back to my question. Because I'm not going to ask any question, nobody will be asking any question which is straightforward related to conflict. Everything is related to concept, everything is related to a business requirement or a business scenario. In short, scenario based questions majority you will be getting, or you may be asked to explain what was your role, how did you work on the situation. If I put you in this project, if this is the situation, how will you react? What was your contribution, or in your previous assignment, tell me how did you configure this particular functionality? How did you perform your testing? What was the toughest situation that you faced with your user? You had any difficult situation convincing your client, convincing your user? If yes, please explain me. Then you should understand what are they expecting for their question as an answer from you. There is no interviewer who is going to ask you, tell me the T code for this, tell me the configuration step for this, what is the table name for it, on this screen how it looks like. Nobody will ask in any interview. Nobody will ask such things in the interview, meaning straight away configuration related questions are ruled out in the interview. That trend is gone. The trend is gone. Now it's all about scenario based question. It is all about scenario based question. Many things are to be considered. There are so many things which you have to consider. And as an experienced candidate, you must be aware of it. There is no exception to it. When I say there is no exception to it, please make sure while talking to the interviewer or while talking to anybody, whatever the points that you are explaining, whatever the points that you are talking are valid. And how you know that the points, whatever you're talking, are valid? Based on the knowledge that you're gaining, based on the efforts that you're putting in. It's not that you will stick to only the configuration day in, day out, 3 months, 4 months, you will be practicing repeatedly configuration is going to make you expert in config, but not an expert in consulting. Remember, there is nothing called consulting configuration. It's all about business process understanding a consultant, meaning you will be represented as a consultant only when you are in a position to understand the client business process, business requirement. You are in a position to interact, talk to the client confidently. If this skill set is missing, nobody can help. Because configuration, I can give you a document, I can tell you that look at this document, please configure the system. Anybody can do it. Even a fresher is enough for me. But why I am behind the experience? Point number one, this is a business. Point number one, this is a business. Company will make money from your consulting services to the client. Meaning you are a revenue generating product for any company as a consultant. When you're in a project, company will be charging their client for your services. With that, company will make profit. Second point, if you are a consultant, company will see whether I can place this candidate in any of my project or not. For example, tomorrow there is a requirement. Somebody will have to go to the client location. I need to make sure that if you are my FICO consultant, you must be confident enough to visit the client location, go meet the client users and all. You have that confidence, that is to be questioned. It's not that you are telling that no, I will manage it. The way you talk, the way you represent, the way you project yourself will reveal everything in the interview. In that 30-minute, people are going to look for it. There are two rounds of interviews. One is your technical round. In the technical round, one person will be checking your technical understanding of the subject, meaning it is all related to SAP FICO question. Different topics, APP, your asset accounting, taxation, implementation, cutover activities, rollout project, these kind of things they will ask in 30-45 minutes maximum. Once they find, okay, this candidate has got knowledge on the areas, they say that, okay, this guy is selected for the first round. Then they will schedule the second round. In the second round, you will have managerial round. In this second managerial round, they are not going to ask any subject. In the second round, they don't ask the subject. Instead, what will they ask? They will be checking your skill set, your capability, your thought process, your understanding of SAP FICO from the conceptual point of view. They are only going to look at whether they can put you in a project or not. For that, configuration is not the criteria for them. They'll be asking different questions. They might give you some scenario. They might be asking, if this is the business requirement, as a consultant, what will you do? The way you're answering, they will see, okay, you're understanding in a proper manner or not. They don't expect right answer 100% in any interview. Even if you're able to talk 50%, you will be selected. Even if you talk at 50% level, you will get the job. Expectation is only 50%. But in the market, this 50% is also tough to get from the candidates. In the market, this expected 50% knowledge is also tough to get. Imagine what level of knowledge people are holding, what level of knowledge holders are your competitors once you get into the market. If you know all the points and if you put your efforts in line with this, while you're in the interview searching, while you're in the job searching, you don't have to find any difficulties because points that you're able to coming across at that stage, you're already aware of it. Whatever is going to happen once you start your job searching, you're already aware of it. Accordingly, if you put your effort, accordingly, if you tune yourself, your knowledge, your concepts, understanding, there is no way that you will find it difficulty. You can easily manage without any problem. The problem comes when you're not aware of these things at the training level. After completing the training, also you're not aware. After attending the first interview, majority we all will realize. After attending first interview, we will realize, okay, interview means like this. They're asking me questions like this. They're expecting this. I don't know this. I've never practiced it. My trainer did not teach me. Meaning you should know, as I previously mentioned, you should look at your job descriptions. You should also look at your course content. These are not matching anytime. Upfront, I'm telling you, this will never match. Course content is completely different. Job description is completely different. You cannot compare both. But tomorrow you wanted to make sure that you will get a job in SAP FICO. Tomorrow you wanted to make sure you will get a job in SAP FICO, for which you have to focus on JD, job description, not on course content. If you wanted to tell everybody, the whole world, that you completed SAP FICO course, please refer the job description. Wherever big job description is there, 10 page, 20 page course content is there, go join there. But if your intention is to get a job, make a career, don't go by the course content, go by the job descriptions. Understand what a consultant will do, accordingly see where you are getting the knowledge, there you can go and get the training. There are many places to get the trainings. It's up to you where you want to get the training, but make sure you do your effort first. If you're not doing any efforts, if you're not putting any effort from your side, you are assuming that wherever I join, they will take care of everything. Nobody will take care of everything. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. If you are ignoring this basic fundamental point, tomorrow you have no right to blame anybody. It is your mistake. You did not do any homework before joining the course. You blindly thought, somebody told me SAP FICO. I thought SAP FICO is good. I found 3, 4, 5 options. Out of these 3, 4, 5 options, based on any criteria, you may shortlist. Somebody will shortlist based on the course content is big here. Somebody may shortlist course duration is very less here. I can complete very fast. Somebody will go based on the fees. They say that no, they're charging more, they're charging less. Depends on individual, how you are thinking. What is SAP FICO according to you? What is your level of understanding on SAP FICO? These are all the basic fundamentals which you should know. When you're aware of these things, you are not going to concern about the payment. You're not going to be concerned about the duration, because it will take time. It will take time. It is not so easy. Within 3 months you will understand. In fact, towards the end of your course, you will start understanding SAP FICO. This is the raw fact. If your course takes 4 months, you will start understanding what is SAP FICO from the 4th month only. Until these 4 months, you will not understand. It's all bits and pieces. Because without looking at the overall subject, nobody is going to understand what you're going to do. You are going to look at the overall subject towards the end of your FICO course. At that stage, you will understand day one what you talk, what we configured. That time when you sit additionally for couple more months, then you will have a clarity, you'll have a conceptual understanding. Meaning you'll have to give the sufficient time to the subject to get into your mind. There should be no hurry. Don't think that I have no time, I have to get the job within 3 months and all. Please don't join SAP FICO. Those who are thinking that I have to complete within 3 months, I have to complete within 4 months, you should also put efforts like that. You should leave everything, mobile phone, everything you should leave. You should dedicatedly focus only on SAP FICO in your mind. Other than SAP, nothing should run. Only then it is possible. Practically, nobody will do it. Practically, nobody will do it. And SAP FICO is something which you cannot put everything at one go. Not possible. Though you're ready, SAP is not ready, or FICO content is not ready to get into your mind in one go. Though you're ready to put 24/7 effort, not possible. You have to take this as a slow poison only. It will not give the effect immediately. It takes time to give the effect. So there's no way you will speed up, you will rush, not possible. The speed that you're maintaining, in the similar speed you'll come back. Stating that I give all my 100% effort, still I'm not getting the job, I'm not understanding. Because you do not know that this is what is going to happen. When you know that this is what is going to happen, you are not going to make unnecessary experiment. And tomorrow you are not going to get disappointed. Okay, these are the basic reasons why people want experienced candidate, because they know different things. Second one is complete fresher. Earlier, there were no opportunities for fresher. When we talk about complete fresher, earlier there were no opportunities for complete fresher, but now there are opportunities for the fresher also. When we say there are opportunities for freshers, there are many companies who are giving jobs for the fresher, provided you are a current year pass out or a last year pass out. There are conditions again. When say there are conditions, company will offer you a fresher SAP consultant position, provided you are a current year pass out or a last year pass out. Otherwise, no. Companies will not take you as a fresher because you are no longer called as a fresher. You are an experienced candidate. You did your academics in last year. First question will come to you is what did you do from last year to till date? Did you work anywhere? If yes, where is the experience certificate? Which company you worked? What was your role? You have the relieving letter or not? This is what they will ask. Before asking SAP FICO, they'll ask about your experience. If you do not know all these fundamental points, you are straight away getting into SAP and all. These things will become a big question marks once you complete the course. And you do not know what to do, how to proceed, and you will be stuck there. And just like that, you will prepare a resume, you will put some XYZ details, and you will get caught. Meaning, don't assume that SAP FICO is not only about course content. There are so many things. As I said, that's only a 10%. That config is only 10%. All these points, understanding, knowledge about the market facts and all part of your remaining 90%. Only then you are going to get the job in the market, else you don't get. So in short, fresher means straightforward. You are either a current year pass out, last year pass out. If this condition is not met, don't call yourself as a fresher. Forget about it. You're not a fresher. If you've completed your academic in this year, either 2024 pass out or 2023 pass out. The moment 2024 pass outs are out in the market, people will ignore 2023 pass out because for them, they have many options for the current year pass out. For you, it's very difficult now. You have to project, say that there is a 1 year career gap. Why 1 year career gap? You completed your academics in 2023. Now it's 2024. Your juniors are also out in the market, but still you are jobless. What were you doing for last 1 year? Why you did not get any job? Why you did not do any job? You attended any interviews? They'll put questions in a different way for which you may not be able to answer unless you do not know the market realities. Why you did not get any job for last 1 year? Did you attend any interviews? You may feel if I tell no, they may think bad. Yes, I attended interviews. Then why you did not get selected? What is wrong? Where you are not? Why companies are not choosing you? They'll put questions in such a way that you will be confused. They will see what is your mind status. I mean, whether you're clear with what you're doing with your career or you're not clear. You're just like that coming for the interview. There are people who just like that come. They don't know anything, but still they come for the interview. People that don't even know what is SAP, they come for SAP interviews. There are people like that. They don't even get training anywhere. They don't know anything about it. Still people will prepare a resume on SAP FICO consultant. They appear for the interview. They don't know anything. There are people. And people are seeing these kind of profiles a lot in day out. Now you are going among them. Nobody will recognize you separately. Oh, Mr. Ajay, please come. We will give you a special treatment. Nobody will give. You are one among the others. You have to prove by talking. You have to prove by showing your skill set, your concept, your knowledge. How the other person will realize only when you talk. And what you are talking matters a lot. How you are talking matters a lot. Everybody can talk about SAP, FICO, config, definition, meaning, T code and all. But what you are talking, how you are explaining, that matters a lot. That makes you different. And what is your confidence level? What is your understanding on the subject? How you are explaining it, how you are trying to convince me, how you are understanding my cross questioning and all will let the other person realize that yes, this is the right candidate. Though you are among 100 people, people will still identify, recognize you because what you're talking is that. Whatever you're talking is something different. Everybody wants that skill set only. If you hold that skill set, at least a little bit, you will be picked up. Alright? So complete fresher, as I said, it's only a current year pass out, last year pass out. If you are not filling this criteria, please forget about that you are a fresher. You'll have to go for fresher to SAP FICO. It's only a fresher to SAP FICO. It's not a complete fresher. When I talk about fresher SAP FICO, you are holding experience in some other domain, in some other technology, but you are fresher to SAP. For example, I may be having 3 years of experience, 4 years of experience, 8 years of experience, 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience, but I have not worked on SAP FICO consulting before. Now I wanted to get into consulting field. Here you are going to represent yourself as a fresher to SAP FICO. Here again, some companies will offer the jobs for the freshers in SAP FICO. Some companies may not offer because you are not a complete fresher. Because this is not a complete fresher, you need to make sure that companies will get attracted towards your profile, or companies will feel that yes, your experience matters to them. What usually we will do, we will try to put our experience as SAP experience. This is most common in SAP. Everybody will do it. What we will do, we will try to convert your domain experience into SAP experience. You will get a lot of supporting from the different vendors in the market. There are so many vendors who will provide you all the documentation, all the support related to converting your current experience into SAP experience. It is only the experience that you are converting, but your knowledge should be genuine. You may be changing your company name, your experience from your current designation to SAP consultant designation because that is a market requirement, because it is a business. That is a market requirement, it is a business. As we discussed, company can sell only an experienced candidate to the client. If you are inexperienced on SAP FICO, no company can sell to any client. When company feels I cannot sell this product to my customer, nobody will buy it. Nobody will invest when they feel they cannot sell this product to a customer. If I feel yes, I can sell this product to a customer, little bit fine tuning is okay. I'm okay with adding extra touch up to the product. I'm okay with it. In the similar way, giving little bit of training, giving some more time to brush up your knowledge and all, every company is okay with it. But at least for that, you should be in a position to talk. Have that consulting mindset, have that consulting thought process, thinking, skill set, so that you will get the job easily, so that you'll easily get the job. There are so many companies in the market. Don't think that in this company or in the market everybody is asking for the PF, everybody is asking for the bank statement, everybody is asking for XYZ. Ignore such companies. There are many other companies. You can even get into a contract positions. There are so many jobs which are C2H, contract to hire. You can join C2H. Initially you need a break. Initially we need a break. Once you get the break, you can do whatever you want. But to get that break, you will have to compromise on certain things. You'll have to wait some more time. First break is required for everybody. Remember, there are so many opportunities in every project. There is an opportunity for below 5-year experienced candidate. Below 5-year experienced profile means majority profiles like trained candidates only. Below 5-year profiles, majority we get this category people only. Fresher SAP FICO, non SAP FICO consulting experience, but they are experienced. They show that in the last I was working on SAP FICO only. You will be given opportunity because company can sell you to your client. They can place you in the project. They feel that yes, you have sufficient training, you have sufficient practice, understanding, with which with minor tuning I can modify you, I can make you work in my project, I can utilize you in my projects. Anybody will feel it because today I am, or tomorrow somebody else, or yesterday somebody else would have been given the opportunity like this as a fresher. Nobody will have experience by default. One has to get an opportunity, but to give the opportunity you need to prove something. Just like that, anybody can be taken into the project, right? So they should know some basic fundamental that you should realize when you talk to the person. In short, in the interview, based on the interaction only I will feel. In the interview, based on the interaction only I will feel yes, this candidate has got the subject or not. When you are able to provide that confidence to me, I am okay with you. Everybody is okay with you. There are some companies which will strictly follow the guidelines, policies, wherein they even go to your school to check your SSC certificate is correct or not. Ignore such companies. You don't wait that company to reject, you reject the company. But when you attend the interview, attend everywhere interview. You attend interview in all the companies. Though they are asking XYZ, everything they are asking, tell everything you have. Go attend the interview. Later on, instead of companies rejecting you, you reject the company. Tell them that you got another better opportunity. You're going somewhere else, or you have been retained by your current employer, so you're not joining at this moment. Don't submit any document, but attend the interview. At least you will get the job. You will get the knowledge. You'll get an experience how interview is happening, what is your expectation, what is your current skill set, where you need to improve. If you feel you are at par with the market requirement, you can continue attending the job interviews. If you feel no, they're asking something very high level, I do not know, take a break. Spend some more time, maybe a week or 2 weeks, refresh all the other points where you feel you are weak, again attend the interviews. But blindly, like a war, don't attend all the companies, whatever comes in your mind. Don't do that. That will be a big mistake because every company will have a resume retention policy. When you're talking about resume retention policy, if you're attending an interview with me today, next 3 months, next 2 months, next 6 months, next 1 year, you will not be interviewed again because your data will be updated in the record as this candidate with this details, Aadhaar card number, this PAN card number, this mobile number, this email ID, this has already taken the interview. The feedback is no, rejected. Okay, date of interview is let's say 2nd August. Now, as per the company policy, for the next 6 months, we will not interview the same candidate. August means September, October, November, December, January, February. Until 8th February, company will not schedule your interview again. Gone. Opportunity gone. Next 6 months, forget about that company. And mostly what will happen, as per our knowledge, we know hardly 10 or 20 companies where there are SAP FICO opportunities. Hardly 20 companies maximum we know that where there are SAP FICO consultant jobs, but there are thousands of companies in India, thousands, more than thousands. Companies are in thousands. What we know is only 20, 20, 30, 40, 50 maximum. I bet nobody can write more than 50 company names where there are SAP FICO opportunities. But there are thousands of companies in India where you can get SAP FICO job. And you know only 50 companies maximum. 50 out of 1000 is not even 10%. 50 out of 1000 is not even 10%. We do not know 10% of the companies who are operating in India where there are SAP FICO opportunities, and then we feel that I know everything. We feel that I'm applying, I'm not getting any call and all. Don't expect that you are a super person, you are a super specialty person in the market who will call you to schedule your interview. Nobody will do it. People like you, people like me, there are thousands, hundreds. You are completing SAP FICO now. There are people who completed SAP FICO 1 year ago, 2 year ago, 3 year ago. Still they are searching for the job. Still they are searching for the job from years. And there are people who are currently working. They are also trying to switch their job. You are competing with so many people. Know these practical points in your mind. Keep these points in your mind, which will allow you to put more focus, which will alert you to understand things in a better way. Don't think that this is not possible and all. This is very simple. When I say it is very simple, when a company is taking interview, they are not going to take 1,000 interviews. They will take hardly 4 or 5 interviews. That's it. They'll interview 3 or 4 people. Out of those first 3 or 4 people, they will shortlist one person. Because my job in the organization is not to take interviews, right? I have to take my project work also. I have to do my activities also. It's not that I am full-time employee to only to take the interviews. 8 hours a day I have to take interview calls. No, that is not my job. That is HR job. They will only schedule the interview. What I will do when I am free, I will be allocating maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour a day. Or in a week, I say that I'll take 2 interviews, 3 interviews. Now, what I'll do, I know that if I don't shortlist this interview, again they are going to schedule one more interview tomorrow. I know that everybody is coming like this only. Okay, this guy is okay. This guy is selected. Okay, selected. That's how people will push. You should know different points. You should know different things. How actually things will happen in a project in the real environment. Accordingly, you will understand. I am telling you, if I am frustrated, if I am tired, that will have an impact on your interview because I am your interviewer. I know that I've already taken 3 interviews, nobody is okay, and then if I don't select you also, tomorrow again I have to take the interview. Day after tomorrow again I have to take interview. I'm not okay to it. It's a time waste for me. I feel that everybody is like that only. Everybody knows bits and pieces only. Nobody is coming with a knowledge which we are expecting. Let's say I take your interview. You're sounding a little bit different. I feel that okay, this candidate is okay, better than everybody else, better than usually how people are coming. I say that okay, this candidate is okay. I'll select you. Things will happen like this also. Things will happen like this also. You need to make sure how things will happen. Don't think that only when somebody is completely satisfied they will give the job. It is not like that. Your knowledge, your skill set is understood other than configuration always. If you're talking the configuration, I understand that you are a trained candidate upfront. Upfront, I understand you are a trained candidate because you are talking only the config. Only the inexperienced candidate, trained candidate, a fresher will talk the config. Even if you work in SAP FICO for one day, you will not talk about config. You will realize that one day, oh, SAP FICO is not configuration. Then you will realize, then you will start thinking, okay, this is the reason why I'm getting rejected everywhere when I talk configs. Until you know the fact, until you know the reality, you do not know how to act. You do not know how to prepare. Knowing the configuration, anybody can do it. As I said earlier itself, to know the configuration, you do not have to make payment to anybody. You don't have to pay, join any course. You don't have to waste your money to know the config. Freely available content in the open market. There are so many ways to get the configuration content. There are so many ways everywhere publicly available, all the configurations related to anything that you talk about in SAP. Then why people are not getting the job? Because that is not enough. Everybody knows it. That's why those configuration documents are available just like that everywhere in the market. If they are so precious, with configuration you will get the job. Everybody will be selling the configuration documents, right? Why everybody will publish the document for free of cost? Meaning we need to logically think. Conceptually, you need to understand the reality. Why everybody is just like that circulating the configuration document? If based on the config document, you will get the job. If you talk the config, you will get the job. Those configuration documents may be very precious, right? People will be selling. They will be taking care to make sure they are not available in the market. But it is not like that. Freely available. Meaning that is not enough. That is not enough. Your knowledge matters. How you understand that, how you are explaining it, how you are talking, whether you can manage in a project or not. These things will matter to get a job. And these are the areas, these are the points where you will be tested, you will be checked in any interview that you attend, not the config. But since we are not aware of it, we are day in, day out, we are doing a lot of effort, hard work to learn configuration. That too after making money payment. After paying, we are spending time on learning a configuration which is absolutely not required, not at all recommended. I upfront tell anybody who wants to learn configuration need not join my class. You don't have to waste your 20,000. If your intention is to know the configuration, I openly tell it is freely available. You can learn for free of cost. Don't pay me 20,000. If your intention is to know the config, I upfront tell to everyone. Do not join my course if your intention is to know the config. It is freely available. Please save your 20,000, learn for free of cost. I may be able to show configuration in one way, but if you go for the open market, you will get 20, let's say some 10 types, 20 types of explanations. Get whatever you like, you get for free of cost. You are having a wide range of content in the market. Choose wide range, select whatever you like. Everything is free. Meaning we need to understand why you are paying money. Is it to know the config? Is it to know the different points? You have to make sure that your thinking is changed, the way you talk is changed, the way you look at the subject is changed, the way you're understanding the business process is changed. You're not blindly configuring everything. You are thinking, you are analyzing whether what is the impact of it, how does it matter. These points you are checking. This is something that you'll have to develop. That is the consulting skill. When you feel that, yes, I am able to see the difference in me now. I'm not blindly configuring the system. I'm able to understand the business requirement. I'm able to understand the logic. Then you feel that, yes, whatever the amount I've paid, I am gaining the knowledge. Whatever the amount I'm paying, I'm gaining the knowledge. When you talk to somebody, you will not talk like before. You will talk in a different way. You will cover different scenarios. You will start counter questioning. When somebody is giving a counter question, you will start giving counter answers because now you are confident. You know what is to be done, what is not to be done. That knowledge, that confidence is what you are getting by paying money, not configuration. You have to be very clear. If you're thinking that this configuration is pending, that configuration is pending, configuration is very simple. If I have to teach only the configuration, I can complete SAP FICO within 1 month because I know all the configurations. I can show all the configurations without any error. But you're not paying money to see my skill set on configuration, right? You are paying money to make sure that you are able to configure the system, you are able to understand the requirement, configure according to the business process requirement. When the problems, errors are coming, what will be the approach? In a project as a consultant, what you will do? These points to understand in line with how these are performed by a consultant, for that you are paying money. You are supposed to look at from that front. You should know what you are paying, why you are paying, what is your expected content, whether you are gaining it or not. That is not something that you can practice on the system. That is something you feel confident yourself. And when you talk to somebody, your friend will tell, now you're talking in a different way, you're explaining nicely, you're not blindly doing it like I am doing it. What happened? Anybody can easily see the difference. It's very easy for anybody to identify the difference that something has happened to you. You are now working in a better way, talking in a better way, understanding in a better way, explaining in even a better way. That difference is what you have to realize. You have to see practically. That's where you feel that yes, I have invested my money, I got the improvement. I'm able to see the improvement. I'm feeling comfortable, confident now. This practically you have to realize it. Only then you will get the job. But overnight, this is not going to happen. 3 months, 4 months, this is practically not going to happen. We have to be very honest. Because usually what will happen, you have to go to the market with 3 to 4 years of experience. You'll have to go to the market with 3 to 4 years of experience. This 3 to 4 years of experienced knowledge cannot be gained in 3 to 4 months. This is practically impossible. Agree with me or not? Gaining 3 to 4 years of knowledge in
Yes,
3 to 4 months is practically impossible to anybody. Even if you bring a topper of the batch, not possible, impossible for anybody, because there are so many things. This is not a fixed content SAP FICO. It's very broad, it's very wide. So what you need to do, based on based on the current market trend, to secure a job, to get a job, to manage confidently, whatever is required, only those points you'll have to focus, not everything. Your mind is small, storage space is also small there. Don't dump everything there. If you're dumping everything, whatever coming in your way, initially things will be very simple. But when the moment actual topics comes, the moment actual content comes, your memory will be short. When I say your memory will be short, it is already loaded with all the basic things. What is SAP? Who invented SAP? What is full form of SAP? What are there in FI? What are there in CO? What is document? What is enterprise structure, company code, chart of account, fiscal year? You loaded everything here. The moment actual content comes, there is no space in your mind. There is no space because there is a very limited space available. Full storage you have utilized for unnecessary content, which is nowhere tested, which is nowhere asked in any interview, in any project. So when the actual content comes, there is no storage. That is the reason, even though you read multiple times, you will not remember it. Why? There is no space there. There is no space. That is the problem. Meaning you should know what content you have to know, what content you have to refer, in what sequence. If you are not aware of it, you are covering everything, but covering in such a way that main content you cannot fill it. The content that you can ignore it, you have to keep it aside first. The content you cannot ignore, you have to store it first. But this storage is happening in a wrong way because we are not aware. According to you, everything is there. We are assuming that everything I will know, everything I will read, everything I will practice, everything I will understand within 3 to 4 months, which is practically not possible for a human being. You must be a superman to understand it. Nobody is a superman, nobody is a superwoman here. Forget about it. That is not going to happen. You have to be very clear that in 3 to 4 months, you can only complete the course. When I say you can only complete the course, syllabus will be completed in 3 to 4 months because the person who is teaching you is aware of SAP FICO configuration, whether me or anybody else. So I can teach you without any error. I can teach you without any error. I can say that 3 months course is over, 4 months. This is what I have given a checklist, course content. See, everything is completed. I'll put a checklist. You will also put a checklist. Yes, sir, this is completed. This is completed. Course completed. Tata, bye bye, farewell ceremony. That's it. I'm least bothered about you. I know that you are not going to get the job. It is you who is not aware that you are not going to get the job. You are under an impression that my course is now completed. I go to the market, I'll get the job, which is not going to happen. I know that. Day one, I know that you are not going to get the job because I know what I'm teaching to you. But according to you, you are thinking that he is teaching me the content, which is very good. I'll get the job in the market. But I know the reality, right? When I know what I'm teaching is valid, when I know what I'm teaching is correct, and when you realize it, yes, this is what is required, then only things will happen. Otherwise, things will not happen. You do not know anything. Whatever I'm teaching, whatever I'm talking, you are blindly following me. I should make sure I give you only the content which is practically going to help you to get a job. I am also talking the basic content, SAP, ERP is an application. It is tightly integrated with XYZ, all the process of business. SAP is invented by 5x IBM employees named A, B, C, D, E, F, and this is used widely in all the world. All the industries are using. What is this going to be useful? It is not going to be useful at all. These kind of things I am not going to talk in any of this session. Even if you ask, I upfront tell I do not know. I don't mind. Even if you feel he doesn't know anything, he's teaching, I don't mind it. But certain questions, certain basic fundamentals, I'm not going to talk. You're not paying money to listen those content from me. That is something that you should know even before you join SAP FICO. Blindly don't join SAP FICO. Certain things you should know on your own. When I teach certain things based on those fundamental, based on those logic, many topics, even though I do not teach, if you refer any document, you will easily understand. I'll make sure you gain that knowledge, you will gain that thought process, you will gain that skill set. You have to focus on that skill set. It doesn't mean that if I teach only then you will understand it, then I'm not teaching you anything, you're not learning anything. If you feel, if it is the situation that only if I show something you will understand it, then practically I'm not teaching you anything. Then this is never ending story. You have to do a PhD in SAP FICO with me. You need to gain the knowledge, that skill set you need to understand. Once you gain that skill set, that thought process, understanding on any requirement which is coming in when you're in a project, with this understanding, with this skill set, with this logic, you have to try whether I can do it or not. Because tomorrow in the project, nobody knows to which client you may be working, to which country you may be working, on what area, on what subject, on what issue you may be working. As a consultant of SAP FICO, anything related to it, you have to handle it. You cannot say, no, I have not worked on it before. So what? You are an experienced candidate, right? You should know how to work on it. That is how you treat them as a consultant. That is the reason you are a consultant. Otherwise, you are a user. If it is a routine work, same, everyday repeating whole career, you are a user. Consultant means based on the business process, based on the client, based on the user, based on the requirement, you have to mold yourself accordingly. This is possible only when you have that logical thinking, consulting mindset. That thinking, that mindset is what you are going to get from me, not the configuration, not the other thing. You have to have a clarity what you are going to get and what is required for you to become a consultant. Focus only on that area. Don't think, don't go by configuration checklist, course content. These things don't go. We will be covering all the topics, whatever is required for you to get a job. I know what is required for you to get a job. On those areas, I will be focusing more. On those areas, I will be focusing more. Certain topics, I will be repeating multiple times because they are very important. No matter how much effectively I will teach, you will not understand. I need to make sure at the end of the day, whatever I am teaching about a topic, about a subject, about a content, you have to understand. If you are unable to understand whatever I am teaching, whatever I am explaining is of no use. I am not teaching to project that I know subject, right? I am teaching to make sure you will understand the subject. Tomorrow you will talk to somebody, tomorrow you will get the job. For that, overnight things are not going to happen. You are not so expert or I am not so expert. One go, I can make you understand everything. I have no magical skill. You also do not have any magical skill. In one attempt, you will understand everything. My understanding level is also very less. Your understanding level is also very less. We both have to understand and then go accordingly. You'll have to give sufficient time. You have waited 5 years to learn SAP FICO. Nobody is a fresher here. Almost everybody who comes to SAP FICO, those who completed their studies way back, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, you have no problem waiting 3 years, 5 years, 10 years to get into SAP. The moment you join SAP, we feel that immediately I want the job. Practically not possible. You need to have patience. Put efforts accordingly, practice accordingly. Make sure only when you feel you are comfortable, you are confident, try attending interviews. Till then, don't try attending interviews. You don't have patience to gain the knowledge, put in your effort, you will not be able to clear the interview. Upfront, I'm telling you. You will not be able to clear the interview if you are unable to spare time, because you know what is your personal activities, commitments that you have on a daily basis. Whether you will be able to take out time or not, you are aware of it. I cannot say that my course is 3 months, 3 months course is completed, refer the recording. I will never tell anybody to refer the recording. I don't believe in recordings. You have to be in the session, attend it, and then only when you need some clarification, refer the recording. Any recording of mine, if you take once the regular classes begin, will be minimum 1 hour. Minimum 1 hour. If you take the one batch, approximately there will be 150 recordings. On an average, minimum 150 recordings will be there in every batch. 150 multiplied by minimum 1.5 hour. 300 hours, 400 hours. Who will have patience to refer it? You do not know in which recording what is there. I don't go in a sequential order. I don't teach in the sequential order. I go in a different method. This batch, whatever I'm teaching, whatever you're joining for batch 6, the way that I adopt to teach you is completely different than the way I adopted for batch 5, batch 4, batch 3, batch 2, batch 1. For example, now you're in batch 6. If you wanted to attend batch 7 after when I start the batch 7, you will find batch 7 I'm talking completely different. I'll talk differently only. I don't teach same content in the same way in every batch. I teach same content in a different way in every batch. Even in your batch, the same topic, if I repeat the second time, I repeat completely differently with a different example, different logic, different concept. Meaning you need to understand, okay, if you know the subject, you can talk in any way, in different ways. You can convince the people in different way. Don't by heart the same content, don't repeat in everywhere. Meaning you have to feel, tomorrow you're attending the same class for the second time. I don't want you to get bored. Same thing, I know next what is going to talk. I'll make sure you will not guess what I'm going to explain next. Because tomorrow when you're working, tomorrow when you're in the interview, nothing is straightforward. Agree with me?
Yes, sir.
In your interview, nobody is going to ask
Yes,
in the sequential enterprise structure, GL, AP, AR, cash, bank, asset, and all. Nobody will talk to you in the same manner in any interview. Point number one. Point number two, when you're in any project, nobody will want you to work enterprise structure, GL, AP. Is this the way followed in any interview or in any project when you're working?
No,
Or it is
no, sir.
random?
no, sir.
Random.
This is
They used to
completely
ask random.
random. On the spot, you have to respond. For example, in the interview, I am asking you about a question related to automatic payment program. You answered my question. Immediately, I'll go to what is cost element accounting. What is primary cost element? What is secondary cost element? What I'm talking is automatic payment program. Next, what you're asking is cost element. No, 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 no. In my class, after automatic payment program, BRS was taught. You may be expecting BRS question. Then you're wrong. Your understanding is wrong, your preparation is wrong, your mindset completely wrong, because you have injected subject in your mind in a sequential order: 1 2 3 4 5 6, side heading, main heading, like you're in academic. Put the side heading with red color highlight, and then subheading you put with blue color highlight. Take 3 pens, red pen, blue pen, black pen. Don't do that. Don't inject subject into your mind in that way, because in the interview you have to respond on the time, on the spot. For example, you put a question to me in the interview, I am thinking and then answering. Okay, for one question, two questions, it is okay. For maximum of the questions, for most of the questions, whenever you put, I am not responding immediately, I am recollecting, I am thinking, and then I am giving right answer, but I am taking time to respond. You are okay with me or not okay with me?
Yes, sir.
I am taking
Yes,
time, I
sir.
am thinking and then answering. I'm not responding immediately to you. You are okay, not okay in the interview?
Not okay.
Not a
That won't give a good
Nobody will be
feedback.
okay, because in the interview I have 30 minutes only. In the interview I have 30 minutes only. I am going to assume that if you are not responding on time, I straight away feel that this candidate doesn't know anything. He is by hearted, he read last night or last 2 3 days, he is trying to recollect what he read, what he prepared. Is that correct? I'm not your friend to think that he would have forgot. I think he knows but he forgot, let him think. Nobody will think that way. First of all, nobody will allow you to take more than 5 10 seconds. They'll immediately go to next question. They assume it as pass. Like rapid fire interview, you will say, right, I'll ask you a question. I don't wait until you give me the response. I'll go to the next question, yes or no. It is the same thing here. That question is assumed as you do not know. That's it. You have to respond on the spot immediately. For that to happen, overnight, this will not happen. You have to get used to it. Now, in my sessions, I'll use the same logic. I don't teach topics in a sequential way. I'll take you in a different way. One topic, when I'm talking, all the associated topics, related content, I'll talk at that moment only, so that you understand the overall picture about it. All right. Now, you need to make sure things that you are putting in, the efforts that you are putting in, keep in your mind. You have to give sufficient time with peace of mind. Only then it is possible. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush, because that is not going to practically work out. Things will be messed up if you're in a rush. Those who already got trained outside will be more difficult for them, because you should not compare. The moment you are going ahead with 2 3 contents at a time, you will not be able to understand, because you may be missing a lot of things, a lot of gaps will be there. Everyone's approach logic will be different. So you have to be very careful. What is your background? If you are completely new to SAP, you are already working in SAP, you are already trained in SAP, accordingly it matters. In short, this is your personalized training. Personalized, I mean to say, you are not supposed to compare with others. Put your effort in such a way that you are able to understand the subject. Tomorrow, you should know what is expected from you in the interview. To meet that expectation, you put your effort. Okay, so what we will do is, tomorrow is Saturday. So tomorrow morning we will have the doubts clarification session. Tomorrow I'm not going to talk anything. Tomorrow I'll clarify all your questions, doubts, whatever you have. I'll explain all the doubts, confusions, whatever you have in the tomorrow's session, so that all your questions, confusions, whatever you have, you can get them clarified in the tomorrow's session. Okay?
Yes, sir.
okay, sir.
Yep. All right, fine then. So we'll connect tomorrow at the same time for the Q&A session for doubts and clarification. All the confusions, whatever you have, you can get them clarified in the tomorrow's session. All right. Bye.
Jay,
Okay, sir.
will start at
Yes.
8 or 7 tomorrow?